Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio Live, the only podcast that is having trouble loading the live stream due to internet issues and then not having issues whatsoever. I don't know, freaking StreamYard going up my grill this to this day. Uh, thank you, everybody, for joining us on this episode of Ring Post Radio. I am your host, Ryan Knightsey, and with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing on this fine Sunday morn?
I'm doing fine. Technical difficulties feel like our new theming of when we do these shows. I feel like there's always something.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, it was another week in the books. Long week. So I feel like it's a long week. When you get, I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but when we get to like fall and then the winter, it feels like the weeks are just a little bit longer, a little bit more difficult.
Sure.
A little bit more tiring.
Sure, I feel that way. I had I assume Boston has gotten a little bit chillier. Finally, the chills have started hitting us in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know, the days maybe like getting to like mid 70s now in terms of a high, but low. Like Jesse and I went to go to the gym yesterday morning, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Let me go. What's the temperature outside?" I was like, 55 degrees. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a quick hoodie and I'm gonna turn around. It's like, oh, okay. It's cold all of a sudden in Atlanta. It's just really hit me all of a sudden. But yeah, it's nice. I do agree that the days get a little bit longer, the weeks get a little bit longer. It's the time of transitions, if you will. We're just transitioning to the next period. I feel that way with wrestling as well. We're transitioning to like whatever the next moments, and we talked about this last week a little bit. I believe it's like we're just kind of transitioning to the winters, beginning of the new year, end of 2025 right now. And we're just, we're riding it out until the end.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I'm very exhausted. I went to bed at like 12 midnight last night, and I had like three or four beers last night. So I woke up with a splitting headache. So I am in a rare Ryan state that does not really happen to me anymore of waking up slightly hungover.
3 to 4 beers, he was crazy.
You could have 3 beers, 3 light beers. I'm out of my mind.
Oh boy, everyone's in for an absolute show. I didn't do that.
It.
What did I do last night?
Oh boy, this guy had 4 beers for sure.
I don't drink, so no. I don't even remember my night last night.
I went to the gym yesterday. I went to the gym yesterday morning. I got elected as the new treasurer of our local civic association, which is like an HOA, but like optional.
Maybe. Congrats, I think.
Yeah, I would say congrats because the people I wanted to win as president and
yeah, let me hit the cheer button.
Oh, that is our cheer button. To be fair, yeah, it helps because the person I wanted to win as president and correspondence secretary also won. So it's like, okay, great. This should be a genuinely good administration that I am excited for because I agree with their view on what to happen with this community and not what the other people who ran. And then there was and then Atlanta we do a thing called Porch Fest every year. Based, I don't know if you know what it is. I think it's somewhat national.
Why would I know that?
Well, I think it's somewhat national. I think it's popped up in like other cities. I don't know if it's popped up north at all, but basically the idea is that like it's a big old community event here in the Atlanta area where local bands will come, and from noon to 6 p.m. they will do a full hour set on just on a porch just on the neighborhood, and these are porches all throughout the neighborhood. You're just walking around and you can hear live music down the street. You walk to that, watch for 30 minutes, leave, go to another band that's performing in that same time slot. It's just like a festival, but on everyone's porches around the city. So that was a whole lot of fun. But now I'm tired. Oh, and then I ended the day watching Scream. So that was for the first time ever. So it was quite the day for me, but now I'm tired. I can feel my voice gone slightly. So I apologize for that, local listeners.
Local listeners.
Well,
What?
I'm sure we have listeners from Atlanta. Surely.
I was like, are there people in here? Like,
Yeah. Well, in a way, is our live audience our local listeners? In a way.
I mean, I guess if it makes you feel better, sure.
Nothing makes me feel better. Let's get to the show. So
Okay.
we got a slightly big show, I would say, to a degree. We have an AEW pay-per-view this weekend, of course. New Japan has a big time show that we've been sort of waiting for since G1 Climax, King of Pro Wrestling, which is actually tomorrow. And then we got a little bit of news to filter throughout as well. But we'll start off with AEW WrestleDream because everyone knows the deal here by this point. We got to start off with these.
Ryan runs the show. There you go.
Yeah, that's the deal here. Is I'm a freakazoid. We got to start with AEW, of course. No, it's the deal is that we can get long winded very much about AEW. So we got to start off the show, of course, with AEW WrestleDream happening this Saturday out of St. Louis, Missouri. There is also a Collision that is the Saturday tailgate brawl as well. But the pay-per-view, of course, this Saturday, St. Louis, Missouri. Get it at your local pay-per-view store. Scotty,
what's up with the local stuff?
I don't know. Look, I'm a community leader now, Scotty.
You get at your local Target.
I'm a community leader. I'm a treasurer of our local community. So look, I'm a local man.
Local Walmart.
I think that's my new nickname, Ryan Knightsey, the local man.
You get at your local CVS.
Look,
your local Amazon.
It's all about going local to global, globally local. And I think that's what podcasts are. We have to be globally local. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, perfect. WrestleDream. Let's talk about WrestleDream this Saturday.
All right.
We'll do a little vibe check, of course, starting off the show. We of course have a pay-per-view. Bunch more matches came out of Collision as well last night. What's the sort of vibe check on WrestleDream? For me, it's sort of, I don't know. Like I don't know. It's like, oh yeah, there's a pay-per-view this weekend. Okay, cool. That's kind of where I'm at. I feel like in terms of WrestleDream. Like looking at the card, there's definitely stuff I'm very much excited about, but like for whatever reason, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a pay-per-view. I'm gonna check that out. But I think looking at the card, obviously, like I'm saying, is there's so much on here that looks really great, and I'm very excited about when I'm looking at it again. But I don't know. What do you think, Scotty?
The first 3 matches had me very excited. I was like, oh, this is kind of on pace to be like top tier show of AEW's year. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of filtered out from there. Just kind of
first 3. I think there's like 5 where I'm excited about.
No, for sure. There's 5 total that I'm excited, but overall, I think it's filtered out a bit to be like more like, okay, you can't have all hits. You gotta have some filler, right?
You gotta get some down matches in between the burning John Moxley on fire match.
Yeah, you gotta run back the Hurt Syndicate versus the Demand in a normal match after they just had a street fight. Absolutely.
Well, we are gonna talk about that because
that makes so much sense. That makes all the sense in the world. Yeah, no, I think I'm pretty excited for the top matches, so my excitement will get there by the time the show starts. I can't keep forgetting it's just on the schedule. I think that's my big thing. Like a lot of essentially my life, whether it be actual events or wrestling events, kind of revolves around not next weekend, but other weekends and other days. Mm-hmm. So like I just kind of skipping this weekend mentally that's coming up. And it's like, all right, that show is happening. Yeah. So I'm trying to realize it's here, but it should be a good show. And Andrade should be on the show, but he's not. So sad.
Well, he's not on the show, and reportedly not going to be on the show. It's not like
he wasn't even on television this week. He returned a week ago and just disappeared.
Well, look, they wanted a big surprise for the anniversary show. I get that. No follow up. I guess the follow up will be after WrestleDream, and Bob's your uncle. We'll see how it goes. I would say that's like totally fine, but obviously Kenny Omega also not on this freaking show as of press date, so we'll see how that is. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of like it's it's kind of like whatever we get. I mean, I think like personally as well, it's like I'm gone this weekend. I'm in South Carolina. I believe hopefully Scotty remembers that. So
I didn't.
It's fine. That's fine. So we're probably gonna be recording the review for the show probably on Monday night, more than likely. But yeah, it's just like it's one of those weekends for AEW where it's just like, all right, they have a show. Looking at the card, it's pretty solid. But you talked about the 3 to 5 matches of an 8-match announcement so far. I would say that's good so far, knowing that we're going to get, I don't know, 12 more, and then I think we'll have an exciting show. I think it's one of the classic AEW pay-per-views where going into it, I'm just sort of like, yeah, this should be a solid show, and I trust the AEW pay-per-view output, and I imagine that the execution of all of this is going to go off really well, and I'm going to love the show afterwards. Like, I don't
There's a
expect...
lot of people missing.
There's a lot of people missing. That's certainly true. There is the aspect of they'll probably announce like 1 or 2 more matches, maybe, but like, right, like I don't know who else that would be. They're already announcing matches for like the pre-show Collision show, so it's like, all right, I think this might be it. Yeah. So we'll see how
Ultimo Monet's missing.
So. Yeah, Monet missing from this entire show is very strange, and her versus Ultimo Dragon is the only thing that obviously fits. Legitimately though, do you think they're trying at all to see if they can actually bring in Ultimo Dragon for a match? Like,
no,
at least not obviously against Mercedes Moné, but maybe like some sort of tag situation.
No.
Yeah. You don't think Ultimo Dragon's going to put over Mercedes Moné?
No, absolutely not. I'm very confused with what we're doing with Mercedes Moné. I've said this many times on the show since she lost to Toni Storm, which, by the way, I thought she should have won.
Yes.
And it's just making less and less sense to me now as time has gone on. Like, yeah, I understand, like, we're collecting belts.
Yeah.
Sure.
Won her 10th title this weekend or something?
Yeah, but okay, she lost the New Japan Strong Women's belt, which
hilarious
is a mind-numbing decision, all things considered, of what the New Japan Strong product has become, which is non-existent. So to me, they could have just left the belt on. I don't.
Well, I would say this is that, like, if they knew at that point, in hindsight, if they knew at that point that Strong was going away forever, right? Presumably, then she would have to lose to Saya Kamatani, supposedly. Well, and that's not going to happen.
Saya Kamatani just has it. Like, it's not, again, this is a belt that just, like, doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah.
And no offense to a lot of companies, it's kind of a lot of what Mercedes has in terms of the AEW realm of things, right? A lot of these belts don't matter to AEW. They matter to these indies, which is very cool,
It's like, I saw one of the local indies talking about how, like, they had like 2,500 people for
which she's doing business, great business for these folks.
I would argue
that's what I'm not taking away from anyone.
Yeah,
what I'm just saying is a lot of these titles are just for the entrance and for the look.
Yeah,
one could have stuck.
Yeah, on TV, there's a little bit of the propage.
Right. And my question is, like, where are we going? What is the point?
Yes.
Is there a point?
Yes.
Will there be a point?
Yeah.
How does this end?
It only makes sense to me that, like, the only thing that they're kind of alluding to is like, oh, she's collecting belts and she's winning titles, and then she's going after this Ultimo Dragon thing and beating that record, right? Of holding, holding the most amount of things.
Doesn't
but, like, even that's like a
AEW fans, I'm guessing, but yeah,
that's almost happening in the background. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, she doesn't have like an actual story. Like, I understand, like, the belt collector thing is what we're doing here. But from a week to week basis, she just kind of shows up, has a random match. I mean, she had a match with Lacey Lane. Was that who she had a match with?
Yeah.
And then that's it. So I'm often confused. She quote tweeted my tweet the other day when Hazuki won the CMLL Japan title. She won it. I was like, oh great, another belt. I don't know. I'm just very confused. That belt would be good for her to win though, because it kind of goes inactive for like half the year every year.
Yeah.
So she could win that one too.
Yeah.
And then we could
combine it with the CMLL women's title if she wanted to.
Yeah, we could get a Mercedes Suzuki rematch. That'd be cool. I guess Mercedes probably isn't going to be on the show though. This is what I was landing on because she's going to be in the main event of the Arena Mexico show on Friday. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's kind of her match of the weekend.
Mm-hmm. She certainly could, she certainly could be on the show WrestleDream, but I kind of agree with you that she's probably just going to work Arena Mexico and call it.
There's not really anyone to rush though. But again, this is my point. Like the Riho match was a match. There wasn't much of a story. It was Riho back, Riho gone, as we do on a yearly basis. Riho back, Riho gone.
I would rumors just of Shida coming in, but there's nothing happening on TV with that yet.
People forget this. We already did that in this reign.
Agreed.
That was a long time ago, but we already did that. Like I don't know what the plan is. And we said this with Tony Storm, and then Tony Storm just lost. So like maybe that's what happens. Maybe Mercedes just eventually loses. And we're like, oh, all right. But I feel like at this point, she's going to break the record, longest TBS champion, which, by the way, learning that she still hasn't broke the Jade Cargill record broke my brain. I was like, how long did you keep this belt on that woman?
Yeah. Well, I kind of said this too with the Mercedes Moné ballot episode, is that like at this point of her career, it feels like what she is trying to do is to become a historical significant wrestler, right? Like she is going. She
already did that before she even got to AEW.
Yeah, hope she knows. Yeah. But what I mean by that is that like she's going for records, right? She is going for things that like for like especially for like not just like. Well, I think more importantly that is like she's trying to break records as like herself. She's trying to break records as a woman and a black woman as well. But then it's also with like this Ultimo, I was gonna say Guerrero, this Ultimo Dragon thing.
I said that the other day. It's fine.
This Ultimo Dragon thing. It's becoming like the person, like more than Ultimo Dragon. It's like coming the person. Like she is going after records, and the problem with going after records is it just takes time, and we just kind of have to sit around and wait until something happens. And it very much feels like, look, after the Tony Storm thing, and then we had a little bit of small Riho postscript sort of thing. Right now in this WrestleDream cycle, they were like, yeah, we don't really have a story for Mercedes. You're good. Have a show at Arena Mexico. That's fine. I guess if they wanted to build that up, they might do a little bit of that on Wednesday. I wouldn't be shocked if they do a little bit of that build up on Wednesday. But yeah, it's one of those things of just like, yeah, we'll see whatever the next step is, presumably after WrestleDream. And maybe it's like Shida coming back and challenging. Maybe it's someone else. They just announced a singles match with Jamie Hayter versus Tekla. Maybe it's one of the two of them. It's sort of like, okay, what are we doing? And I think it's just like it's the thing that happens in AEW every once in a while that we pick up on, obviously, that a lot of people pick up on is sometimes a pay-per-view cycle for a top star is just a hamster wheel, and we don't really have anything for them. Maybe someone else is bogged down in some other thing. Maybe there's an injury that took someone out. But like otherwise, we're just kind of bogged down hamster wheeling until something has to happen. Until then, we just kind of have to have a random challenger from Florida.
It's just unique for her.
Mm-hmm.
It's unique for her because she always feels in the mix, included, always on pay-per-views, always wrestling, always a highlight of pay-per-views too. I think that's an important part, which
especially lately,
it just kind of feels like the missing aspect is like, oh well, she's not going to be the highlight when she's not on it. I would like there to be a direction. If it comes from Hayter and Tekla, that's cool. But at the same time, like I ask you, what is the biggest Mercedes Moné match now? I think that's kind of the.
I feel like we've been having these conversations on every pay-per-view.
I think that's the biggest struggle for me.
Yeah.
For the longest time, it was the obvious answers. Tony Storm, Athena. We've done those, and unless something crazy happens, I don't think we're going back to them anytime soon.
Yeah.
Will Nightingale's doing
not even the pre-show, doing the basically it's collision taping, collision show.
Yeah, she's doing the usual, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is nothing. Yeah, I mean that's my biggest question. I don't know what the biggest Mercedes Moné match is anymore, and I don't love that part. Like, there's always something in, I think, the fans' mind to build outside of just the records and the belts. And right now, I don't have a direction for that, and I don't have a person I can name. We've had the Jamie Hayter match, by the way. That's already happened.
Yeah.
Like that also happened this year. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's the reality of these sort of situations is that like the big matches are pretty much gone. Like you could say Athena, you could say Tony Storm. Look, I mean, realistically, I would also throw in there at the time like a Britt Baker, just in terms of like historical of Britt Baker and AEW. Other matches you could say were Chris, Willow. She's had those as well in terms of AEW itself. At this point, it's just like it's not a question of what are the big matches. It's just a question of like who else has she not wrestled for this title on the roster? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's a small list probably.
Who can become a big matchup for her?
Exactly.
Like who can be the mountain to climb for her? I guess like if they wanted to push her more, it would be like a Megan Bain, maybe. That's about it.
Yeah.
Out of like fresh matchups, it would probably be her.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like same thing with who was I just looking at the roster page? Well, I guess I was looking at Marina Shafir, but that wasn't necessarily what I was thinking of. Tekla is what I was thinking of. I guess if we're talking about WrestleDream, Tekla versus Jamie Hayter, they were the two people that were part of the four-way at the last pay-per-view. Now they're facing, could be for TBS, could be the world title. Obviously, it feels like there's number one contendership at play in terms of a silent.
Like Chris versus Tekla's the next world title.
Yeah, but like to that extent with like Tekla and I was looking at Megan Bain. I was also looking at Marina Shafir, someone that I don't recall, who has obviously been built up a little bit for the Death Rider stuff. Like these are all heels, and that's also like the next bit of this is like Mercedes Moné can also wrestle heels and play that babyface role, obviously. But her gimmick is that she's a bad guy, so she has to like play more babyface, go more in line with that. She's basically beat every single babyface on this roster. It's just now facing some more of these heels. And that's probably, I mean, Serena Deeb. I don't know. I don't recall if she's really wrestled Serena Deeb. I mean, it's totally plausible that she has. It's just, it's what it is. It's what it is with Mercedes in this company, and it's just what it's got to be. I guess we're waiting. Like I said, at this point we are just waiting. We are just waiting. I think for her to have another company reach out and say we would want to work with AEW and Mercedes Moné and give her.
All right, and you know what? I'll be the sour one too. I'm sick of her just like teasing Japan and then not going back. Mm-hmm. Got one match this year, and you know who it was against? Mina Shirakawa. Mm-hmm. That wasn't even like. If we're gonna keep traveling around the world, let's go back there. There's big matches there for her.
Yeah.
There's definitely big matches there for her. Potentially her biggest few opponents are probably located in Japan at this stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, like I am interested to see where we go. I did a Q&A earlier this week. Someone asked me like, would I be mad if Mercedes Moné challenged Saya Kamatani during her quest? And I was like, absolutely not. I would not mind that at all.
Sounds like a great match.
The only thing is she can't win.
Yeah.
Mercedes Moné cannot win that match. But like, again, we have talked about this. Maybe the beauty of failure can aid a story like that. But that's probably the biggest match that I could think of in terms of an international match right now for Mercedes Moné, for sure. Obviously Sari's in the conversation as well. But I am a realist here as well.
KOPW around the corner.
What'd you say?
I said KOPW around the corner.
Yeah, this is true. But yeah, I don't know. I had my ramble. Now we can talk about the rest of the card. Thank you.
We'll move on to the next one just because we mentioned a little bit earlier. We can knock it out real quick. 6-man tag team match: the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin versus the Man, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, Toa Leona. This is obviously a rubber match as well. This is the best of 3 series rubber match here, but incredibly dumb. The first one is a 6-man tag. The second one's a street fight, which was really, really fun. Really, really good on Dynamite. Yeah. And then here we have them wrestling again on the pay-per-view, just a 6-man tag. Obviously, Scotty, they could easily add some sort of gimmick on Wednesday, right, to juice this up a little bit more. But it's also one of those things of like you're running up against an I Quit match with Darby Allin and Jon Moxley, so you don't want to necessarily do the same thing. But also, I'm going to throw that outside immediately and say you're not going to do the same thing as Jon Moxley and Darby Allin. I don't think MVP is going to be lit on fire, or I don't think Ricochet is going to be lit on fire like Darby Allin or Moxley will be. Right. So yeah, I think this is kind of a downgrade and kind of silly that we're doing a 6-man tag again as a rubber match. Silly. I mean, like just probably for the Hurt Syndicate to win as well, win 2 straight.
Yeah.
And then what? Trios? I mean, this is a thing that feels like a trios title, but okay, sure. That's fine. I mean, I would be down. Look, Scotty, I'll be down for a trios title for the Hurt Syndicate with MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley versus Shibata, Hobbs, and Samoa Joe. I mean, that's
absolutely
by the way, world champion Samoa Joe, of course. Like, I would be down. I'd be down. I'll be down to clown until I'm down on the ground. But it's just like it's one of those things that like it's like at this point you have to slap on it at least something else, if not a gimmick, a number 1 contender shot.
Yeah.
Just because right now this is juiceless. After coming off of a great, feels like almost like a blow off.
Easy way to fix that: put Juice Robinson in the match.
As a member of the Hurt Syndicate, of course.
They would only be so lucky. Yeah, I don't know. This makes no sense to me. I saw the match announced and I was like, there's just no step. Which also reminded me that Blood and Guts was teased, and then that just got forgotten. Not by them. But I was reminded this week watching Dynamite, because I was catching up because we were doing this preview. I was like, wait a minute. Are we doing Blood and Guts? Are we doing Blood and Guts? Are we doing a tag title tournament too?
That's the thing. They're advertising the Blood and Guts show in North Carolina in Greensboro.
Okay.
They're like I've definitely seen that bug pop up on screen. But we're not really building it other than just like having a bunch of the women fighting, which is obviously I think good. It's fine. You just need to combine them all into a 10.
Sure.
But the women's tag is also fun because it's like, what happened? Are we not doing anything with that right now? It's almost like the Ring of Honor women's pure title or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was like for some reason Tony Khan felt the need to confirm the belts were actually real.
Yeah,
and then was like, "All right, see ya."
I'm not ready. Actually,
good talk.
For this.
Good talk. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and in this trios match is a match that's just like it feels like it's thrown on here and it's missing a whole lot. You know what I mean? It feels like we're adding another match for this feud, but it does not really mean anything. I mean, the meaning of it is that like it's a rubber match and seeing who's the better trios, and that's fine. But I think like in the same way that I think you should announce something else to it. Here's the thing, right? A lot, and that's why I said like some of the stuff could be like normal contendership under the table stuff for the trios title, right? The problem is that you could do that for Hayter versus Tekla.
Yeah.
Right? For the 6-man tag and being a rubber match, you have this escalation built up of matches, and you can't de-escalate on the third one. And you can't say it's like a silent under the table trios title number one contenders thing, because that
imagine doing 3 stages.
It's still a de-escalation.
Right? Like imagine doing a 3 stages of hell match, and it's like normal match. Next month's a stipulation match.
Normal match, street fight, number one contenders fight. It's like, huh?
Yeah, right.
Or normal match, yeah.
Like the match should be a number one contenders match altogether. You know, like it doesn't matter. Maybe they'll add a step. Maybe this is all for naught. I think that's possible. I think
it should be possible.
I've definitely seen Tony Khan give in to public peer pressure. So I don't think it's against the idea. Maybe they announced it and maybe they'll run the angle on Wednesday. That's always possible. It's like, oh, we're gonna have I don't really know though. That's the other thing. Like you said, you have the Mox Darby match. So like, what else are you gonna do?
Exactly. It's a big old question of like, well, what else then?
A table, ladders, and stairs match. Never mind. Duh.
Why have the tables and ladders, buddy? Just do the stairs. A cane on a pole match, because that's kind of where it all kind of started to a degree.
That is true.
Who knows? We'll find
out.
I
don't know what they're gonna do.
$500,000 are on the line in this tag team match. High money stakes. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson versus Jurassic Express, Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. Had never been in action yet.
I finally saw them wrestle.
Oh, you have? Oh, yes, they did wrestle on Dynamite. My apologies.
They wrestled for about 2 seconds.
Oh, yes, they did. But we have the Young Bucks versus Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. So the story was built up. They're doing a match. They want to have high money for it because they spent all their Young Bucks spend all their money. I think it's incredibly simple, basic, revenge-y sort of plot here. And so then it comes down to how good the match will be. And look, it's the Young Bucks. And yeah, it's the Young Bucks. So I think this match will be pretty good.
I like Jurassic Express in the year 2025. I'm proud to say it. Not that proud to say it, but I'll say it.
Do you like that he wrestles with the knife?
Yeah, I think that's great. I like that. I feel like me and JR won that Jungle Jack Perry is the best name that he's had, and that was always the right name. The 500K makes me laugh because I was like, you couldn't just do a tag match. Like you don't have to add that. I understand the Young Bucks are poor in kayfabe or whatever. So like, I guess Jack Perry taking money away from them is a funny little bit.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do the money thing.
It gives it's one of those things that's like the 6-man tag we're talking about. It's something that it gives a gimmick to a degree to the match, right? It gives it something else.
Gives it a little bit more reason. Gives it a little bit more oomph.
Yeah, they're fighting for something, and that something is $500,000.
Which, okay, this is off topic. What kind of beers did you have last night?
I had a Stella. I had a local brew called a Classic City Lager, and I had what was the first beer I had?
Damn.
It was something that we have, I think. Oh no, I think it was also a Stella. I think I had 2 Stellas and a Classic City Lager.
Because you are absolutely zonked, I could tell. Anyway,
I think you can tell in my voice. I think that's the real.
Well, because usually you're like a little bit more animated. I could tell you're like.
I went to bed at midnight and woke up at 6:30.
That's late
with a headache.
With
a headache, and I was like, "Oh boy,
it's a bad combo." Look at you, you're fighting through it. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Next match.
That joke is for the video viewers only. This is a match that it has a story, it has a revenge plot. It's gonna just come down to how good it will be, and with the Young Bucks in here, it will be good. So
you're a revenge plot.
Thank you. AEW World Tag Team Title match. Bandito and Brody King lost the sort of challenger match thing that took place on Dynamite. I thought that was a pretty fun match, and then we get to see it again for the World Tag Team titles. Bandito versus Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. I'm kind of getting to the point of shit or get off the pot with the Takeshita Okada teases. It was nice when it first happened in 2300 Arena, I believe. And now it's every match, every single interaction, and it's all right.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first tease actually happened about 6 months ago.
Sure.
It feels like,
Yeah, and then it felt like the next tease was 2300.
Yeah,
and now it's every week, and I'm like, all right, it has to blow up here, or else I will be upset about it all. It only makes sense because it's also it has to blow up here. Bandito has to retain their titles, in my opinion. There's no reason to take the titles off of them. They're a great act.
Unless Bandito is really hurt.
And unless Bandito is legitimately hurt, which is a great point. If he's not hurt, I do love the idea of what they did with. He was wrestling Hechicero when he got hurt, so it was like Don Callis can take credit for it. I love that. Yeah. That worked out perfect in their favor. But unless Bandito is like actually hurt, there's no reason to take the titles off of him, or both of them.
Yeah, I agree.
And to that end, then I would be expecting, why would Okada be losing? Why would Takeshita be losing? Because
at this point, to do a miscommunication to lose.
Yes, because we also have to keep in mind, Scotty, there is a chance Takeshita will be walking into the show as the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
That is possible.
It is very I think it's likely to a degree that Takeshita and Okada will be walking and holding 2 world titles.
Dude, imagine if they have Zack Sabre Jr. going to Wrestle Kingdom for a second year in a row as champion. I guess it doesn't matter who goes in as champion this year because of Tanahashi. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's very possible. I guess we'll see. Yeah, I mean, this match should be great. They gave you like the teaser on Wednesday. They're gonna have a better match on Saturday.
Agreed.
Absolutely think Bandito should win, though. I don't think that's even a debate, quite frankly.
It's the same thing of like it only matters if Bandito's actually injured, which I don't really think. He's playing so much of it up on Wednesday that I'm not convinced that he's like he is hurt probably, but I'm not convinced that he's like legit hurt.
Right.
Torn.
We got to get to Okada and Takeshita here, which I don't know when that happens. But we have to prolong the story. Maybe prolonging the story is making them champions. Maybe that's what the plan is. I don't know. And then they miscommunicate, and then you do the Continental Classic, and then that's how we get there. Maybe that's what they do. Everything's on the table, but I'm with you. Like, let's do something that isn't just the same tease over and over again.
If they did the one at 2300 and then they didn't do it in matches, but like maybe they still did like a little bit backstage or whatever, but they just didn't do it in the matches, I would be fine.
Sure,
like we're like they were able to work together and dominate or whatever. But it's the thing of like every week we do the stuff of like, oh, I'm gonna tag you out, or I'm not gonna do that. Look at you, or I'm gonna throw someone else.
Everyone loves a story like that never ends.
It's can they coexist? And you're right. We're looking down the barrel of it. Could be a can they coexist title reign, and I'm not there. And I think that's part of it is that if Takeshita also wins the world title for New Japan, right? They have to find a way to have one of these guys lose, and having the breakup happen here sort of makes sense to me, right?
Sure.
Because also, by the way, you could do the breakup, and it could be the Continental Classic, but you could it also tees up Okada versus Takeshita at the Dome if you wanted to.
No, they're not going to do that.
I know they're not going to do that, but they could. They could. I'm just like, look, Scotty, I'm trying to give the New Japan fans some hope here.
That doesn't give them hope. That pisses them off. That will just piss them off even more.
Probably.
You know how New Japan fans work? AEW bad.
Yeah. But Okada coming back? Maybe. Gotta give him something.
There's a conversation to be had about New Japan, which I'm saving for later, so I'm not going to bring it up.
Fair enough.
Just yet. But
put a pin in that.
Yeah, put a pin in it. Put in a pin in it. We'll talk to you later about it.
AEW TNT title match: Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe.
Oh yeah, man.
Very much excited. I was also excited about the tag title match that previously. I'm also very much, as you can tell by my voice, very excited for this match. Kyle Fletcher, Mark Briscoe.
As you can tell by his voice, very excited.
Very excited. They have insane chemistry with one another. Fletcher and Briscoe
insane
do.
In the membrane.
I would argue that Mark Briscoe is insane in the membrane.
Insane in the brain. Sorry.
And yeah, Kyle Fletcher is a great wrestler. The fact that we're doing the title again is like, why are we kind of running it back again? It feels like we've done it a couple times with Mark Briscoe.
This is probably the most Ryan's ever been against an AEW pay-per-view that I've ever been on here with him.
You know what? I'll take it back, actually. This is the first time Mark Briscoe is challenging Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title. And I thought it's been at least twice already.
Is.
So this is the first time. So yeah, look, this is gonna be a good match. I'm very excited. I've changed my tune all the way around. Should Mark Briscoe win? Look, I think there's a conversation piece there.
Mark Briscoe hasn't challenged for this exact championship since January 4th, 2025.
Whoa. At the Tokyo Dome?
No, against Daniel Garcia on Collision.
Of course.
Far worse than what
a
you thought.
What a reign.
I forgot it even happened.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's play a game.
All right, let's cue the music. And here we go, cue the music. Right.
I want you to name me the TNT champion.
You or Scotty?
Me.
Yeah. I
you named. Oh, ha, ha, ha.
I won the game. I won the game. Hit the music.
All right, we're moving on. No, I'm just kidding.
Name you.
All right. I want you to name me the champions of the TNT title since Christian Cage first held it. In order. Or not in order. Try it in order.
Okay.
So Christian Cage held the belt once after taking it from Luchasaurus or something, right?
Okay.
Well,
it would then be, I believe, Adam Copeland, and then back
to
Christian Cage.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. I don't remember. Can I if this is all right? If this is all right with the council.
You can phone a friend.
Well, what I'm gonna do. Can I also go?
I am your friend
in reverse order. So I'm gonna pause.
Oh yeah. No, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Skip ahead to modern and say, okay, we got Fletcher.
Yeah.
We got Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah.
We got Dustin Rhodes won at All in Texas.
This little period, by the way, this next period of people is literally the whole reason I'm doing this.
Yeah, I know. So
you going back to modern was wicked funny.
Dustin Rhodes won the 4-way. Who was the champion in the 4-way?
This is what I do. Would you like to phone a friend?
Hold on.
It's a trick question. Would you like to phone a friend?
It's possible that was all of this Danny Garcia?
No. Would you like to phone a friend?
Sure.
It was vacant.
For the 4-way. It was vacant for the 4-way. That's what it was. That's why I'm confused. Because I was like, who the heck was the champion? It was vacant for the 4-way, which means it was vacated by someone.
Yeah.
And that person was not Danny Garcia.
No. Sure wasn't.
Person was the TNT champion before
vacating
the title, getting
You're
injured.
Correct. Uh-huh.
Was it Adam Cole?
It was.
Yes.
And then before Adam Cole
was Danny Garcia.
Uh-huh. And before Danny Garcia,
did he beat Christian?
He sure didn't.
Oh, damn. Who the hell beat Christian?
Would you like to? It was Adam Copeland.
Again?
Beat him again. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I wanted to prove how poorly built this title is. Yeah.
Okay, so it was Christian, Adam Copeland, Adam Copeland, and then Danny Garcia?
And then Adam Copeland snapped his leg.
Oh, and then it was vacated. And then Danny Garcia.
No.
What?
It was Jungle Jack Perry, baby.
Oh, yeah, the black belt. I forgot.
Yeah, this belt's history is really bad. That was my entire point.
It's mid-card title belt if I've ever seen
If you go through this belt, my God, it is seated. The longest TNT title reign since hold on, no way. Since Darby Allin. So Darby Allin has the longest title right now, 186 days, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Jack Perry has the second longest ever at 146. And you couldn't even remember that he had the belt. That says everything. That's tough.
And I don't have a good memory, but I got everyone else. The vacants I forgot about because I was like, wait, there's vacants. There's also, I mean, speak to that as well, though, is that like a big problem with that mid-card belt is just like how many vacancies have to happen. You know what I mean? Like that's a big part of it. It ruins momentum all the time.
I mean, you want to talk about ruining momentum. Jack Perry's title run was Marco Stunt, Darby Allin, Leo Rush, Christopher Daniels, Minoru Suzuki, Katsuyori Shibata, Action Andretti, and Danny Garcia.
Minoru Suzuki sticks out like a sore thumb there, and Marco Stunt is the first challenge.
I was like, hold on, Minoru Suzuki's the one that sticks out, not the Marco Stunt one.
Well, there's history. There's history from there. Minoru Suzuki's like, what the? What is DDT's own?
Literally on last year's Grand Slam.
Hilarious.
Which, by the way, clearly isn't happening this year at Arthur Ashe. Just realized the timing of the year. How about that?
Because last year they didn't do it at Arthur Ashe, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I just said it happened at Arthur Ashe in 2024. Okay, literally seconds ago.
But Scotty, did it happen at Arthur Ashe last year?
Right in it. Right inside of it.
I'm on the pocket. I'm in the pocket of this episode.
Much like the knife of Jack Perry. All right, we're moving on.
What the? Yeah, I think this match will be good. Do you think Mark Briscoe should win the title and move Fletcher back into the world title scene?
No. I just told you the second longest reign of this title's history. Yeah. No. He's at 70 days.
Yeah. What was Jack Perry's? What was the Jack Perry's number?
146.
All right. Well, he needs to hold it for basically 76 more days. What is 76
then he can lose
from now? What is that? That is December. Nope. No, wait, what? It says December 27th, 2025. There's no way that's correct. Oh, it is December 27th, 2025.
Why would that not be correct? It's 2 months and then some.
I can't do math, turns out, Scotty. I'm an accountant. I can't do math. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's great. You're having an absolute day. No more drinking and sleeping and waking up for podcasts. Poorly.
Look. This is why I don't drink. It ruins my energy on podcasts.
Yeah, you're trying to make me lead. I can't lead this.
I'm not trying to make you do anything, Scotty.
The dynamic is the energy flows back and forth here, and if you don't have any, what do you think? I'm going to have some? I'm the one that's always tired on this podcast.
Scotty, do you know what show is on December 27th of this year?
The AEW pay-per-view. World's End.
Correct. AEW World's End. Are you telling me we're gonna have Kyle Fletcher versus Jack Perry for the second best record on World's End?
You're probably correct.
I'm gonna shoot the arrow into the target and see if I nail it. Right? Put it on your calendars, folks. Put it on the calendars. Clip it.
A historic match. The second longest reign in TNT title history.
Kyle Fletcher versus Jungle Jack Perry, as we all intended.
Jungle Jack Perry, by the way, House of Torture member. Shouts out.
Of course. Well, we respect Jungle Jack Perry here because he is House of Torture affiliated.
Yeah, much like myself.
I quit match. John Moxley
quit the show
versus Darby Allin. Obviously, I'm very much excited.
Is this the most anticipated match of the show?
Yeah. Well,
it's got to be, right?
Samoa Joe really gets me going. But I think this should be probably number one on the bullet. If not, fighting number two, maybe preference. But look,
the only problem is someone has to die, right? Like that's the whole.
Well, they are heavily teasing fire for this match. So look, the expectation is at least one person will be lit on fire this show. And if that doesn't get you going, if the concerned trolls on Twitter and Reddit aren't excited for this one, well, that's a good thing because that means I'm excited for this. If the concerned trolls are nervous that someone's gonna be lit on fire, that's too dangerous, I'm gonna say, yeah, I can't wait for it. It's what they've been promising, and it's going to happen. It should be good.
Jack Perry got lit on fire once.
Yeah, it's also already happened. I think twice, or was it just Jack Perry? Well, Cody to a degree, to over 100 degrees. That
was different, yeah, but he did for fun. Yeah. Man, remember the Codyverse? That was crazy.
Codyverse was something.
Codyverse always gave you something. That's the thing,
something,
right?
Yeah,
you were never bored.
You're never bored.
Unless he was fighting Anthony Ogogo. I was pretty bored for that.
Yeah. But yeah, they've done fire in the past. It should be a great match. I fully trust the hands of these people. I mean, look, if you want to do the rubber match of this feud, like who won last pay-per-view? It was Mox, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Darby's never beaten him, right?
I don't think so. I have to look up the cage match.
There's no way Darby quits.
Yeah, that's a good question.
This has to be his thing.
That's the question. Who the hell do you think wins this thing? Who do you think utters the phrase "I quit"?
The match to me feels like a way to put Darby super over and getting Jon Moxley to quit because he will not quit.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm excited. There's going to be a lot of blood.
And look, in a way, Jon Moxley has quit before. Like, not necessarily yell the word "I quit" to my knowledge. Probably has. I don't know. But like the Hangman Page match at All in Texas, to a degree, him tapping out, like someone tapping out to a degree is saying "I quit," right? Yeah, because the outside is like me not quitting is me getting choked out and passed out, right?
You goddamn right.
So in a way, this guy has already quit before.
Here's a question for you.
Real quickly. They wrestled 5 times. Jon Moxley has won every single time. Go ahead.
What do you think we will get more of? The usage of gasoline or Darby Allin getting thrown off of something?
Darby Allin getting thrown off something.
I thought
you were going to say forks. I'm going to say
You know what I was thinking about? Or not thinking about, but I saw a clip the other day. I still think the gnarliest bump I've ever seen is the Darby Allin glass bump in the Sting retirement match.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about it ever since. And I'm like, you can't top that. That was the most dangerous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
His back was
awful.
Blood. It was blood.
And I saw the Swerve Strickland match in Lucha Underground, where the guy did a similar spot. Remember, like Swerve did a similar spot in the Lucha Underground match, and his back was awful. And I thought I'll never see that again. And then I saw Darby do it in a smaller square footage, also including more chairs and whatnot.
Yeah. I'm not saying we should do it again, but
but into a pit of fire? Huh, interesting.
Yeah, that's the other question. What kind of fire are we thinking here? Do we think like
I think
they go through a table? Like, okay, well, no, I know the flamethrower is gonna be there, but like, are we actually gonna light someone on fire with the flamethrower?
Yeah, probably.
That's a crazy sentence.
Do you think they're gonna use the Molotov cocktail? It teased it pretty heavily at the end of Dynamite.
Yes. You can't tease a Molotov cocktail and then not use it. Even if you do like a pre-tape.
Yeah.
Right? They disappear into the back. It's a pre-tape where the Molotov cocktail is
safely used, yeah.
Or you start with the Molotov. Hear me out. They're doing entrances and someone just eats the cocktail and we're just going.
Uh-huh. What about pulling out a glass coffin full of gasoline so that when someone falls off a ladder through the glass coffin, it engulfs in flames?
That is absolutely a fire hazard.
Well, here's the thing.
There are people that will be sitting around this.
Okay, here's the thing. Let's talk kayfabe. Let's talk kayfabe for a second.
Okay, all right.
How is Tony Khan sanctioning this fight?
Oh,
well, he teased a Molotov cocktail to be thrown on Jon Moxley, so much so that a security had to tackle Darby Allin for his use of a weapon. They use his weapons all the time, but like that was too far. How are you still advertising and sanctioning this bout? It has to be an unsanctioned I quit match if we're going to the logic. That's my point. It's got a main event, baby.
Yes, another chance for Hangman not to main event.
Look, man.
There comes a time you need to make a decision, and when someone's gonna get put on fire, that's the decision.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Don't ask reasonable questions.
Well, this is how you avoid it. Tony Khan should come on air on Wednesday and say,
cancel the match.
No. We're still going to have the match.
Him with them all. Oh, okay.
But if we have strongly told him that he should not use him, and that if he does use him, we're going to like fire him or something, or suspend him for 6 months. You should do like a threat back and be like, don't. We're still going to sanction the bout, but you can't do this. There's something also to like firing Darby Allin for using fire. There's something there that's poetically fun. But like you have to do like, don't do that, buddy. You can't if you're not going to have this match main event where you can actually use it.
That is one way to keep the Molotov cocktail away from the match, but no, they've promised me something I need to have.
Well, no, I'm saying you say if he uses it, we're going to suspend him without pay for 6 months or whatever, right? And then have Darby use it. That's what I'm saying. You have Darby use it, and then he doesn't quit. He taps out Jon Moxley, and he goes out, and it does kill his momentum probably. But look, we gotta maintain some order in kayfabe here. Anyways, what does Darby get thrown onto the Hall of Fame ballot? Is it he's 32 now? Would it be 35? I'm guessing
for like 10 minutes. Like I don't know.
When did he start?
Yeah, it's not
2015. He's been wrestling for 10 years.
Oh, there you go.
Not a major level, I guess, but
he's not going to make the Hall of Fame. Why is this a question?
No, I don't think he's. Well, I think it's too early. Obviously, I don't think he's going to go on the ballot for like another 5-10 years.
He has a total of 0 world title reigns.
Yeah.
So
far, does feel like a guy who should win the AEW world title at some point, though.
We went through this. I thought about this though.
Okay, good.
This was supposed to be when he was going to win the belt. Mm-hmm. This is when people kept saying it. Oh, WrestleDream next year, he'll win the belt. Yep. And it'll be all this big hoopla. And it's like, man, he could have won a great point and used a Molotov cocktail.
That's a great point. This is supposed to be that world title everyone was expecting.
Yeah. Not happening. He might not even make it out of the match alive because there's fire involved. So
someone's not going to go. We're using Molotov cocktails. Like Wheeler Yuta has been growing out his hair for so long. It is a shame that it's going to burn off from flames from Darby Allin.
It's
like a cartoon where you like light it, just like it quickly.
There's gotta be
disappears.
Okay,
like flash paper.
Okay. I gotta be the bad guy now. Uh-huh. There's a chance this lets down.
Okay, sure. The expectations for
because
this
they don't utilize fire. Mm-hmm. What if they tease fire the entire time and then it's never used?
That would not. There's no way that's happening. There's no way they're not going to use fire at all.
But like, what if?
If they don't do it, I'm giving this a 1 at best.
Damn.
Maybe
it is the Jon Moxley title reign then if that happens.
They have been establishing the use of fire since the last pay-per-view.
That's true.
So it just has to happen.
Someone has to go on fire, and if it doesn't happen, Ryan is never watching AEW again. He said it, not me. He said it, not me.
Look, I'll co-sign.
Well, you said it. Obviously, not me. So yeah, obviously you're co-signing. It'd be really funny now if it didn't happen. You'd be like,
I would come on here and say, "Excuse me, Tony Khan, sir." I'll get him on the phone. "Excuse me, sir. What are we doing here?"
Former Freakazoid here would like to still be a Freakazoid. You
disappointed Freakazoid in your midst. Oh boy, howdy. I like disappointed Freakazoid because I still identify as a Freakazoid. The true Freakazoid way. Moving on. Next match, semi-main event, presumably AEW Women's. I don't know what the order is going to be here. Obviously, AEW Women's World Title match: Chris Statlander versus Toni Storm. We talked about this with Chris Stat winning the title in that 4-way at the last pay-per-view. That maybe they do what's next for Toni Storm. Maybe they run it back to do a singles. Here we are doing the singles. Again, it's going to be the question of what's next for Toni Storm after this. I think we'll have better answers in terms of what that will look like after the match.
Team titles, baby.
I think you're right. I think it's tag team titles. Maybe that's also why Mercedes Moné is doing nothing, because for this, they can at least very quickly put together a singles match between the two. There's no real excuse for Moné, but you can really just put together a singles match for these two, and then we're doing the tag titles. Because I think you and I both agree the tag titles are probably going to be for Tony. and whoever else.
Yeah, Mina, right?
Mina would make sense. Mina obviously would make sense. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of, we have to get through this, and then we get the World Women's Tag Titles. In this match, look, I think Chris is obviously retaining, and I think it should be a fun match. I really want to say that I believe it was the last Dynamite that aired.
Dynamite.
What they had a great video package with Renee, talking over about how like they have never faced one-on-one. But Chris Statlinger has all of these wins under her belt. She's like one of the most winningest women's wrestlers in the company's like history, practically. She's had this long streak, and they never wrestled one-on-one. And when they met finally in a ring together in a four-way, Chris won. Chris was the better woman, and it's like great. I love that. I love that where it's like all the stats to back up the claim of, and we were all shocked. Why did Chris Statlander win? Here's a video package that's like, well, she's been silently one of the best women's wrestlers in the entire company. And then when she finally faced the women's world champion, she beat her. Perfect. Love it. That's why the rankings are great. But that's why these things are really fun. Scotty, you were saying?
Could have done a little of that before he won the belt, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I understand. Maybe you don't want to do it the Dynamite after, just because it's like it might
be
like
that would have been good.
Well, it would have been good, but I could also see it not doing it because it's like you don't want to come off of like everyone's complaining.
This is what you want.
Everyone's complaining. It's like this is the reason, and it's like
no, it worked out in the end. Chris Statlander rules, and I'm happy she's world champion. And that is my entire take on this.
Yeah, pretty much.
I really like Chris Stat. Happy she's champ. And I did say this to you though. We gotta get ourselves to a Hollywood ending type match between these two.
Yeah,
because I just think that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Tony Storm has to light Chris Statlander on fire. I think that's where I think that's where we're headed. I think that's where
people are gonna hear this podcast and they're gonna think you have like what's the people that love fire? What is that called again?
Masochists? Well, that's not specifically fire.
No,
Pyromaniacs?
No. Yeah, they're gonna think that's what you are.
Well,
I
pull out a lighter.
Pulls out a lighter. What does it look like to you, buddy?
Pull out a Molotov cocktail. What do you think, buddy?
I would have way more concerns if you just did that. Oh God.
But yeah, this would be a solid match. Like, I'm not necessarily expecting anything more because I think, as you're sort of saying, women's tag titles are probably the next thing after WrestleDream. So,
probably.
Yeah, because it's that, and then they're also building up to. I mean, I guess it's possible that they're not going to do the women's tag titles because after this, they probably have to start building up for the not war games. What is it called? Blood and Guts.
Yeah,
like that would actually probably be the next thing after this.
Hey, you're right. My God,
when is that? November. It'd be next month. So and then
what's the date of that?
11/12. November 12th. Dynamite. Greensboro, North Carolina.
There are going to be. Here's the most disgusting thing of all time. Sure. There's going to be 3 War Games matches all in 1 month. That is pitiful.
Get into
as someone who hates War Games matches, no matter what company does them.
And this is obviously assuming that AEW is only doing 1.
Yeah, they could do 2.
They could do 2.
I could be in major pain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I've said this on many occasions on this podcast. I hate War Games. Hate it. Despise it. Every time people are like, "Oh, we need a woman's blood and guts," I was like, "We don't need blood and guts at all." How about that?
What about no? What about pass, baby?
What about no? And when WWE does theirs, that's gonna suck because we actually do kind of do those WWE shows. So yeah, this stinks.
I also just found out looking at the schedule that they're coming back to Georgia in December 10th.
Yeah, they're back in Boston in November.
Oh, nice. Ooh, that's the go home show for Full Gear.
If you said it was the go home show for Blood and Guts, I was going to come through the screen.
From Molotov cocktail, of course.
Yeah, I got one right here.
Whoa, buddy! Whoa, Scotty! Whoa!
Just take it easy. Just take it easy.
Take it easy, buddy. Take it easy. Well, let's talk about the main event. Main event, of course. AEW World Title. Adam Page, Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. Tony Khan really trying to give some sort of drawing credit for Samoa Joe for the ballots for the Hall of Fame year.
I hate to be that guy every time this comes up, but what if and hear me out here, Ryan.
I'm hearing.
Well, Samoa Joe just won.
Sure, I don't care. Fuck it, dude.
Every time he's in a world title match, he convinces me he should be the world champion every single time. And I say to myself every time, why was this guy not world champion for all of his career? This is bullshit.
Yeah.
This guy, the face-to-face, I was like, this guy, Samoa Joe has me wanting to run through a wall. Hangman made great points too. And I love the Hangman. Yeah. I've said that many times.
I thought Hangman held his own in that little.
He was fantastic, but he's not Samoa Joe.
He's not Samoa Joe.
And many times when it comes to most wrestlers, they're not Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Samoa Joe is a guy that you look at him and you're like, why not Samoa Joe? You know what I mean? Just why not him?
One of the greats. One of the all-time greats.
Yeah. I can't
Hall of Famer in my book.
I think you're voting for him this year, right?
You're damn right I am. I'm never not going to vote for Big Joe.
Yeah. I'm excited for the ballot to clean up a little bit this year because 100% next year I'm going to vote for Joe. I'm pretty locked in on that. I feel
pretty woke of you. You know that?
Woke. Whoa, hey man. I don't want any AI listening to me on this podcast right now. I've said too many things. in the past. I mean, it's pretty dicey out there, Scotty. You can't be throwing those words around here. I said earlier in this podcast I had a Molotov cocktail. You can't be saying these things.
Not earlier. Literally 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm jazzed to the nines for this match.
I'm
so
I think that's
excited
a great
for
way
Samoa
to
Joe
jazzed
to wrestle at a main event level.
This is what a world title match should be.
Yeah.
We talked about the slight concerns with Hangman, and that boy, have they listened? Oh, let's see. Here's Kyle Fletcher. Here's Samoa Joe.
He's been hitting out of the park lately.
Oh yeah.
And even then, I mean, we had concerns about that first match. We're like, all right, whatever. And then it's Kyle Fletcher, banger. Obviously the Moxley match, banger. Joe here, I mean, come on, banger. What are we like? I don't even have to I could just write in 4 stars as a minimum for this match already.
I love Samoa Joe. This is I know everyone's excited for Darby and Moxley. I get it. This is my main event, no matter what.
Yeah, baby.
Joey Samoa.
Joey
Adam Page. That's what it's all about, baby.
Oh God, I can't wait. I mean, look, and that's the great thing also I think about Samoa Joe and why he is a great Hall of Fame wrestler. Scotty, you don't have to take a lot of time to build up this match to get me or many people excited and probably also draw.
You just put that graphic up and you're like, Yep.
I know
I'm there.
I don't know. I know I don't necessarily like looking at WrestleTix before the show really anymore, but now I kind of want to look at WrestleTix just to see.
You know what I want to say about Samoa Joe?
Sure. Say whatever you want about Samoa Joe.
I think when it comes to legitimacy in pro wrestling, there's just no one that feels as legitimate as Samoa Joe.
Yes. Especially in a modern sense.
Yeah. I'm in now. Yeah. I can't wait. Give him the world title. Sorry, Hangman. Give him the world title.
Yeah. I agree. Sorry, Hangman. You had a great reign. Look, can't deny it. Great reign so far, right? You can't deny it has been a great reign. But look, it's Samoa Joe, buddy. I mean, I don't know what to.
I love a nice roadblock.
And look, and it could be the end of the line for old Hangman. Here.
Take it back. Take it back,
y'all. I'm looking. I
what
cannot
this time.
I cannot find the freaking pre-sale codes for Atlanta. I'm just gonna open link a new tab. Thank you. I cannot find the most recent WrestleDream tick announcement from WrestleTix. I'm already back to October 5th, and he has not posted anything, so I assume we'll probably get an update maybe like later today or tomorrow.
One hop this time. Sorry.
All right,
still so slide.
That's WrestleDream. I think it's a show that like I am excited for on paper, right? As I said at the top.
Sure.
In practice, look, I'm not watching it live because I'll be in South Carolina. But yeah, it will be a good show.
Freakazoid are you?
What's that?
What kind of freakazoid are you?
One that's calling up Tony Khan. Boop, 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 boop. I'm a disappointed freakazoid, sir. I did not see murder on my stream.
And then he's gonna be like, "Why are you calling me now? The show happened 2 days ago. Oh, I had to watch it late. What kind of freakazoid are you?" That's what he's gonna say.
We're removing your subscription to HBO Max. What? But I watch other things on that. You can't do that, sir. You can't do that to me.
I use that for more things. Too bad.
Look, buddy, I've been watching The Penguin. You can't do that to me.
Look,
my co-host keeps yelling at me to freaking watch the Peacemaker show.
Me?
I'm finally getting around to probably watching Smiling Friends. Like I got things to do, buddy.
You're like 3 years behind pop culture.
I know. Look, man, what can I say? I'm pretty cool. I'm surprised you. Yeah, I'll hit the button for you. Scotty. What can I say? Hold on, Scotty's left. Let me get rid of this graphic. And this will be the screenshot for everybody. What can it say? I'm pretty cool. Beautiful. Scotty liked that one. Scotty liked that one a lot.
I was really hoping you hit the pose again when I disappeared. The screen was full. Oh, and you did not let me down. Oh, God.
All right. Well, let's move on. With the show. Some quick hits. Topic of conversation. I think we talked about him leaving Noah.
Quick hit. Quick smack across the face.
Whoa, God. What are you, Samoa Joe? I think we talked about this last week is when he left Noah. I believe is when we talked about it, maybe 2 weeks ago. But we got the result of that. It was a result I would say that I was kind of hoping for, Scotty. And that was Go Shiozaki has left Noah and he's officially returned to All Japan this past Saturday, yesterday, immediately challenging, that's right, for the Triple Crown title against Kento Miyahara. So right around the corner, Scotty, we haven't talked about All Japan in forever. We're right around the corner. We have Kento Miyahara versus Go Shiozaki for the Triple Crown. Ooh, baby. I'm not going to say we're back, but my interest for this one match on this one show is 100% there.
They certainly told me they had no plans prior to this news because they just went right to it.
Mm-hmm.
Went right to it, which is funny, but also at the same time, I'll take it.
happily take it.
Yeah, I mean,
big circle if I've ever seen one.
You think about what they've been doing for the past year or whatever, and boy, oh boy, has it been bad. So we'll take it, and I will watch it. I will watch your match.
Yeah,
I will watch your match. I was thinking to myself that, hey, Go Shiozaki on like a Collision episode would have been kind of sick. But I'll take him in All Japan and doing this, and we'll see how it goes. Former Triple Crown champion.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah, that's the thing. He actually defended against Kento when he had the belt. So
yeah, first time in the company in 10 years.
Yeah,
he has joined the Havoc faction, which
I don't know what that means.
Well, it's a faction that includes Shotaro Ashino, Odyssey Jones, and Zion Quinn. Yeah, it's that one. That one, Scotty.
I thought he was trying to get away from the Noah type stuff.
No.
Went right back into it.
Yeah, but look, at least he's back. At least he's back in All Japan, and we have a hot, exciting match next week on the 22nd in Cracker Hall is when the show will take place for the title.
Woo!
So get ready. Get jazzed.
Get into it.
Get into it. Get into it indeed. So yeah, enough about that. Because we'll maybe I don't think we'll talk about more next week. We'll certainly, I feel like we'll review that match in 2 weeks. So stay tuned, I guess, for that. The other thing that kind of happened this week that feels like we should talk about a little bit is WWE ID. Still like a thing that happens, but this week you got obviously a bunch of other releases. Thereof. Yeah, this week you got a bunch of other releases like Wes Lee, or Stevie Turner. Or Lance
they had to pay the Santos Escobar contract.
I don't think you're wrong to a degree. But what we also happened this week as well is that you have the announcement that Zayda Steele has left her contract with Evolve WWE ID. You have a bunch of who other people?
Sarah Zakir's expired.
Kylie Ray, her contract expired while pregnant, while gone being pregnant.
Wow.
Her contract expired. That sucks. You have like a bunch of like legends, future greats, TV show talent that have all left. Their contracts expired. It's just like, look, that's
the name of that show.
Legends, Future Greats, I think is what it LFG. I think that's what it stands for.
That's bad. Good job, Undertaker.
It's good job, Mark. Yeah, and you got it's one of those things of like, I think there's a conversation that's kind of happened this week is the WWE ID thing working, or is this admitting that it's not working? Obviously, they did renew some people. I think they renewed their WWE ID champion, Jackson Drake, his contract. So that's good. There are other people they've let go before. It could also just be, look, it's that time of the year. We're going to, remove some chaff, from this roster, and they're cutting people. Kind of is what it is.
They don't make enough money, so yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, and that's the big problem with WWE is that like their purse strings are tight. They don't have a lot of income. I mean, they just ran a small indie show in Australia. They just ran a show like, I mean, they got Saudi Arabia, which is like, it's like whatever. It's just a small show, and there's a bunch of people. They don't have a lot of money for even like a lot of talents. They just they just bought a promotion, AAA, and there's like debt they probably inherited, and they just gotta like cut costs and expenses.
You know what? I will give them credit. They got this nice ESPN deal, help keep them afloat.
More money with that deal that's officially started.
And they're continuously, seemingly pissing that company off with their shows.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I was at the gym, and the gym has like ESPN playing everything. Didn't see them talk about WB in any capacity while on the treadmill. And that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. But this is also Saturday. Is when I was watching ESPN at the gym, day of that show, and I did not even realize.
What time did you go to the gym?
Like 9 a.m.
So the show's happening at the time.
Fair point.
Maybe that's why.
Fair counterpoint.
You could have just watched the show.
Well, Planet Fitness doesn't pay for ESPN Plus or whatever.
Unlimited.
Yeah. I think that's the black membership card for Planet Fitness is it's fun unlimited. Yeah. That show we already knew it was kind of a whatever show just based on like the title matches and whatnot, or lack thereof in terms of like world titles. But it's also like whatever. I think you're right. I think the ESPN's not necessarily happy. And that on top of that, is pissing off ESPN, and then you have the Nielsen stuff happening as well. Business of pro wrestling is going to look very crazy, I think, in the next 5 years.
And we're getting the Triple H stories now of like, he's not really into it as much.
Yeah. Oh, this guy's too focused on his political stuff because he wants to be the next Dana White.
That's very true. He definitely does.
Yeah. I
that might have been the truest statement about Triple H in a long time.
Yeah, of course he wants to be it. He has always wanted to be on TV. We've always known this about the man.
He was on TV both times when the Crown Jewel person won yesterday.
Good for him. Good for him, buddy.
Buddy.
Sorry, I love slapping a buddy on there.
Slapping a buddy. Come here, buddy.
Come here, buddy. Buddy, old pal. Come here, buddy. Thwack.
What is our show?
Our show is
talk.
our show, of course, Scotty, is talking about. Well, I guess, do we have any actual thoughts? We didn't say anything actually about it, about WWE. Do we see it as a failure?
It's going
well. Doesn't feel like it's going well.
You know what they say. Gabe Sapolsky, very proven leader, and all his things work really out well. So going about as expected.
Mm-hmm. How much
coming
longer
for the wrestlers who might have believed this would be a pathway? None of them have been signed.
Yeah, I mean, at least not
None
yet.
of them.
They're renewing WWE ID.
It's been a year. They didn't sign a single talent.
Yes, I think that's a great point. Instead of signing WWE ID talent, they are renewing their ID contracts, which is like, well, then what's the point? Right. You either work for a year and get an NXT deal, or you work for a year and get cut. That's fine. Why renew people for another ID talent? But that doesn't make any sense.
Gotta pay Santos Escobar.
They still have to develop for the development show?
Yeah. Bad.
What are we doing? What are we doing, bud? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, most of them are just going to go to TNA anyways, and then they'll get signed.
I mean, yeah, like guys like Wesley, obviously not a WWIT talent, but a guy like Wesley getting cut, it's like, okay, great. I'll see him back on NXT in a couple weeks. You know what I mean?
Yep, and he'll be going by a different name. Mm-hmm. Though, hey, Wesley's a good wrestler. So, well, he was. I don't know if he still is. Mm-hmm. Wish him the best.
Yeah, wish him the best. He'll be tagging with Zachary Wentz at time.
I got a good question for you. That's true. That'll be good, actually.
Yeah.
What are the odds TNA finally announces their TV deal tonight?
Oh, at Bound for Glory?
Yeah.
They should. They've been teasing that it would happen sooner rather than later. I think based off this,
I hope they got on Fox.
I hope they announce it and it's like Roku TV. You know what I mean? Like it's
that would be so good.
I hope after all of this, it's just like some bullshit fast.
We're going back to Destination America.
Yeah. It's just like some bullshit fast thing. It's like whatever.
What channel would you consider? Well, what channel do you think is possible? What's the most successful landing spot you think TNA could acquire?
I think legitimately like a fast channel would be the most successful thing for them. I gotta pull up what channels exist and are operated right now by anybody. Pluto TV, Rakuten TV, Roku channel, Samsung, Tubi. I like legitimately like Pluto or Tubi. I think would be good for them. They're not good on actual TV. I don't understand it at all. It also is like their own TNA is owned by the channel they're on. So having any other TV deal doesn't really make sense to me to begin with, but whatever, money talks, I guess. But if I'm not mistaken, they're owned by Axis.
Yeah, they are.
Why
they don't make money doing that?
Yeah. Does Axis, I guess the question is, does Axis own other channels? Do the people that own Axis, do they own other stuff? I guess Anthem, it would be the thing. Does Anthem own other channels? That's the question. And I do not know. Like I simply Access TV, Fight Network, Game TV, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. I don't know. Is are they going to sell it off? Do they really think there's that much value? I mean, Bound for Glory is like 6,000 tickets sold. They're selling more tickets than NXT shows. They're selling more tickets than NXT at these shows, which is with ratings that are so abysmal they're not reported by anyone because they're not announced by anyone.
Yeah, I don't know why TNA is getting a TV deal, but
I think you're right. They'll probably announce it tonight, whatever it is. I think they should. I think if they don't announce it tonight, it will look very suspect, extremely suspect.
It'll make us right of there. No one believed, no one believed Carlos Silva.
I wish. I think every pay-per-view, the TNA letters on his hat should just get a little bit bigger.
Oh man, that'd be so funny.
I think one of those memes. I think it'd be so funny. TNA, they'll get it. They'll announce something, but I think it will probably be some sort of streaming thing and it'll be like, we'll still be on Axis, but then we'll also be on this streaming service. I think that's likely.
Yeah.
And like a streamer like a Pluto or something, I think that's obviously way more likely. I doubt they're going to go back on Peacock. If WWE is helping them, like that's sure. If they go on Fox or something big, look. If they go on Fox or something big, I'll say that's great. Anything above a fast channel, Scotty, is legitimately great for TNA. We can all agree.
Their best bet's like Fox News Nation.
If they can go on an actual streamer, one of the major streamers, or an actual TV network, then I will say that is a massive win for TNA, undoubtedly.
You'll eat crow. Live on air.
You'll
buy a TNA hat and you will wear it on this show. And you'll say,
the font will get bigger every week.
And Carlos Silva, I am with you.
I would, if they get on anything other than a fast channel, if they get on a major TV network or a major streamer deal, Scotty, I will say that I finally believe in Joe Hendry because because you cannot deny that Joe Hendry is a big part of this. So I would finally say, look, I believe in NXT superstar Joe Hendry.
All right, that's your fault that you said that.
It is.
That's also the belief you have in it not being one of those.
Exactly.
You don't believe in TNA and you don't believe in Joe Hendry.
I think that all this hype about TNA is a Trojan horse that WWE is helping them construct.
Hey, as I've said many times on the show, total nonstop ass. Am I right? Yes. All right. Moving on.
King of Pro Wrestling Monday is the show. New Japan's big show at Ryogoku Hall. Should be a big time show for sure.
Ryogoku.
Yeah, my apologies, sir. King of Pro Wrestling. This is where we're going to get the big time G1 Climax title match with Konosuke Takeshita versus Zack Sabre Jr. Of course, for that IWGP World Heavyweight title. We kind of talked about it a little bit indirectly, saying that I think there's a good shot that Takeshita is going to win this title. But what are you thinking? This is they're establishing this as Zack Sabre Jr.'s arena practically. I think this is where he debuted. This is where he won the title, obviously, for last year. What are we thinking about this match, this main event, Takeshita versus Zack Sabre Jr.?
Yeah, I think this company's doomed.
Oh, not good. Not a good answer. Oh, buddy.
I was thinking about this. I was having a conversation. We were just talking about I was talking about Bushiroad. I was talking about Puro companies and the lack of success this year and things like that. And I was thinking to myself, it doesn't matter who wins this match. Okay, it does not matter who wins between Zack Sabre Jr. and Konosuke Takeshita, because the reason is whoever goes into Wrestle Kingdom as champion is not the draw. So it really does not matter. This is the first time in a long time that does not matter. The draw is Hiroshi Tanahashi's retirement match.
Yeah.
It is already proven. They are selling tickets like crazy. They're doing all this, right? And it reminded me how many companies have had the chance to run a retirement tour over the past year or two throughout the world, and being able to lean on that. And ultimately, when it ends, you want to come out of the other side with, this is why you should stay around. New Japan Pro Wrestling has not given you a single reason to stick around after Hiroshi Tanahashi says, see ya. That's not good. There has not been consistent booking. On this show, there's a very good chance Yota Tsuji is just winning back the title that he lost because everyone thought he was going to win the world title.
Yeah.
That's backwards. We're going backwards. Then, on the other side of this, you just ask yourself, what is this company once the Tanahashi retirement tour is over?
Yeah.
Where are we going? Is Konosuke Takeshita the answer? He's not even your full-time wrestler.
A third of your wrestler.
I don't know why that's so funny, but that's true.
What's funny about it is that he does technically still work for DDT. I was like,
true, he does. and he works there even less.
Yeah.
Is Zack Sabre Jr. your answer? No, we were told that last year, or sorry, actually this year technically, but for last year in terms of Wrestle Kingdom, we have been told that's not the truth. So I asked myself, what have they accomplished during this Hiroshi Tanahashi retirement tour?
I'll tell you this, Scotty. I think we had a great elevation this year in a guy named Gabe Kidd. Oh, sorry. I'm getting that. I'm just getting that now. It looks like Gabe Kidd might be at the door. All right. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, so they tried with him, and he pissed on that idea.
Seemingly.
It is mind-boggling. Again, we've had a lot of retirement tours as of late. Some companies have really lifted themselves through it. Others have not. And New Japan's is the ultimate, though, because this is Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of the company, the president of the company, by the way, for those who may forget. And there's just, to me, no answer here as to where do we go after all this, which is why this championship match almost means nothing. Sure. Because whoever wins this match could not matter after January 4th. Either one.
Look, and that's what, 80 days away, 70, 80 days away, right? So
there's always... just did the math, brother. You just did the math.
Yeah, I was like, so 80-ish days away, right?
Yeah.
Look, there's always a chance they can build up more people. They're not going to build up like a massive draw or whatever, right? But there's always a chance they can build up other people. But we are kind of past the point of really building up someone, and it's now the point of like we have to shit or get off the pot with these things.
Yeah.
And Takeshita is interesting, but it is very much like, all right,
not yours.
He's barely yours, right? He is technically, he has a contract, right? So he is yours to a degree, but barely comparatively.
Right.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Who gets final say in that conversation? Not them.
Yeah. Zack Sabre Jr. is around. Obviously, a big problem with Zack Sabre Jr. is that like optically he doesn't feel like a big draw. If I had to give Zack Sabre Jr. any defense, it's like, well, it's because we were comparing him to Naito's numbers, and Naito is like a Hall of Fame level draw.
Yeah.
To be fair to Zack Sabre Jr.
I will say that I have read the show is not doing as well as hoped.
I wouldn't be shocked. About that. The rest
of this biggest shows since what? Dominion?
Probably.
On paper.
Yeah.
On paper.
Yeah, this show is loaded up. It should do well. If it's not doing well, that is a dire situation for this company. We'll obviously see what the final result is in terms of ticket sales. But it's not necessarily looking good right now.
Tanahashi's final match at Ryogoku is another aspect of this. But yeah, there is a lot of conversation to have of the failures of booking while you're on a retirement tour that puts a lot of attention on you.
And to really speak to it, Scotty, other than the Takeshita match, I assume you're looking at the card. Is there?
I know it off the top of my head.
Yeah. Is there any other match that you could see like them fully elevating somebody in?
No.
Exactly. We'll go through the full card, and I want people at home to ask themselves that question. Will this match help elevate whoever the wrestling is?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. Or a good question throughout the preview. And I'll also say this now, looking back and talking about it, we both picked Takeshita to win the G1, and we thought it made sense at the time.
Yeah, this all makes sense.
It did make sense. But now that we're here, now that we're on the other side, now that we're almost to Tanahashi's retirement, it's tough. It's tough to say if it was the right decision or not, because it's not like it's bolstering business. It's not like it's lifting business. And at the same time, you could have used it to make a guy for you.
Well, and we also talked about it last week a little bit of like the period post G1 to getting here was a little bit of like, all right, we're just kind of waiting. Like, I don't really feel that way, and maybe it's because the product was obviously better, but I didn't necessarily feel that way when it came to winning the G1 and going into Wrestle Kingdom. But going to the G1 and then waiting a month or two to go into KOPW, I just sort of feel like
it's very different.
We were just waiting for this, and now then it's going to be a thing of, all right, same thing of like the Tony Storm conversation
expected
earlier.
Hiroki Goto to be a champion.
That's true. But same conversation we had the Tony Storm and Monet thing earlier. It's like, okay, Takeshita could win here, and then it's like, all right, what's next? Zack Sabre Jr. can win here, and I would come out being like, huh? Like, honestly, that's like I'm not expecting a ZSJ win here in any capacity.
At this stage, I think the match is Goto and Takeshita.
Yeah,
like that has to be the match.
Yeah, I think you might be right. If it's not Tanahashi, which it's not going to be,
right? It's not going to be. He's kind of hinted at that now, but
yeah, it's very heavily hinted that it's going to be Tanahashi versus whoever the new guy. I forget his name.
Oh, it's not going to be him either. He said so.
Oh, really? They keep teasing it. Like when they really bring up like Tanahashi's last match at this guy's debut match. It's
Tanahashi said very specifically he doesn't think it would aid him.
What the fuck is his name?
Aaron Wolf. Is that his
Aaron
name?
Wolf? Yeah, great name.
Yeah, it's a great name. Yeah, I mean that's also bringing a lot of eyes too. Like that's a big part of it. And again, maybe that's just gonna be the guy. Like maybe he just ends up having to be the guy, which is asking a lot from the guy.
It's also totally possible that is this case. And then in the new year, when that guy debuts, this company gets reinvigorated because they have a massive draw.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The reason I bring it up now is just because right now it feels like there's not going to be that guy. But Wrestle Kingdom is 80 plus days away. There's still time, but when you look at the landscape here and the youth that you were supposed to be building up, Tsuji's back into the role he was a year ago.
Yep.
Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura are teaming for tag belts.
Not excited about that in any capacity. You gotta be kidding me.
I actually am looking forward to that match, but that's because of everyone besides Shota Umino.
Sure.
As per usual. Ryohei Oiwa barely even exists.
He's in a 6-man tag and one of the and third from the top, third from the bottom.
Barely exists. Is that it?
Should we pull up the old list? What else? I guess Oleg Boltin is in a title match.
He's in a match.
He's in a match. He's had the title.
Some could say he's in the biggest match on the show. I would say he's in one of the bigger matches on the show, right? Yeah. So, but yeah, it's
I think it's likely he might lose.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Probably lose.
All right, let's just go through the show.
Yeah. So obviously that was the main event match. Do we have any more thoughts on the main event? Zack Sabre Jr. versus Takeshita. Should be a good match. Should be a great match.
I'm not really looking forward to it. I just kind of I'm numb to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's more of what happens when it's over.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah, I agree. I can agree with that.
If Takeshita loses.
If Takeshita loses, I would be truly baffled. I'd be like, what are we doing here? Because
what was the point?
What was the point of any of that?
Why did he win the G1
better? Why do we need a better Zack Sabre Jr.? We need people. We need guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just how it is. So I should have brought in Go Shiozaki.
Yeah.
Go Shiozaki versus Takeshita? Oh baby. Look, but it goes back to what I said earlier about AEW. It's look, I think I agree with you that the Tanahashi match, and to an extent, Aaron Wolf is. We'll see how big of a draw Aaron Wolf is, obviously, but
I'm not gonna assume.
He
is a big deal. I know that.
Story wise, it's not story wise. Colloquially, that's not necessarily the word. What people say is that he's a massive deal in Japan, right? So we'll sort of see what that means in terms of actual ticket sales.
He's an Olympian.
Yeah, but
gold medalist.
And his neck works, if you believe it.
Big deal.
Big deal. But like, yeah, it's like, what's the world title match? And it's like, yeah, it could be Goto. I think it's totally plausible that it could still be Okada.
Probably should be.
Like, I know you don't think so, but like,
that's what I wanted to bring up. So I wanted to bring that up because that obviously does not help them at all.
It probably gives some ticket sales more than Goto.
Yeah,
I
but
imagine.
like, I don't think the ticket sales for that show matter about the world title match.
Sure.
Like, people are going to buy a ticket to see Tanahashi's retirement.
Yeah.
Everything else is just a added bonus to that show.
I agree. I agree. It's a question of how much does the main event.
I also don't think Tony
Khan's
Khan's letting that match get burnt in New Japan.
Yeah. It's a question of how much that will add to all the initial pot. If we're assuming that Tanahashi retirement match can sell, I don't know, 20,000 tickets.
They're already past that.
Great. 30,000 tickets.
Yeah.
30, 40,000 tickets, whatever.
Sure.
How much more can a great main event drawing match?
Great card. I'd just say great card.
Yeah. You know what I was also thinking about recently? And maybe this isn't the spot. I'm just going to open the door, and we don't necessarily have to talk about it. Just open the door.
Forbidden door?
I'm going to open the forbidden door thought. The FDT, if you will.
You should put Saya Kamatani on Wrestle Kingdom. I have also been thinking the same thing.
Hey,
I actually have. Like, that's an actual serious
legitimately
though.
That's something. Hey, look, you need a draw. You got a half level draw. It's like tiny. I was thinking about this in terms of the Hall of Fame, and I'm only bringing this up just because we're kind of circling it, and we don't have to have the discussion. We probably have the discussion not next week, but 2 weeks from now, I believe, or a couple weeks from now. I've just been thinking about, like, the thing about like the Hall of Fame right now is that like pretty much all the slam dunk Hall of Famers, slam dunk Hall of Fame draws are in, right? And a problem with that is that like the fact that they're all in means that everyone else on the ballot and everyone else in like modern wrestling is like not really a slam dunk Hall of Famer per se, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, then what slam dunk Hall of Famers exist? Are there slam dunk historically significant wrestlers out there? Modern sense, extremely too hard to sell or to tell. I feel like there are probably slam dunk wrestlers out there, because when you look slam dunk Hall of Fame wrestlers out there, and there's a lot probably, because when you look at like the Hall of Fame historically, there's a lot of wrestlers that like are like fine good wrestlers, but they're like massive draws. Hulk Hogan, for example, massive draw, not a great wrestler, right? Slam dunk Hall of Famer. But are there anyone that's like an astoundingly great wrestler, not that fine to good draw, that is not in there? I think there's people out there. I think that's just like where modern wrestling is right now. It's not modern wrestling isn't necessarily built around draws. It's about wrestling ability.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of the state we're in, I think. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what also like New Japan kind of is. There's no real stars. Everyone is pretty good to great to a degree.
Yeah.
But there's no big stars. And that's just what it is. And maybe that's also there's no big stars. Same thing that's kind of like applies to Hollywood to a degree. Same thing applies to like all these other things, because like everyone's attention, no one's focused.
Everyone's looking for the next big star.
Yes. And I think always. Like that extends outside of wrestling, I think, as well.
Yeah.
But because like the attention is divided so much and all these sort of things, it's really hard, really, really hard to create like that big star.
When you are the leader, you have to.
When you're Ted Lake Nelson with a giant forehead.
In many ways, you have to lead by example, though. In many ways, you have to be at the lead of it. And, we talked about it for a long time. WWE struggled with that, and obviously you figure it out eventually. But for a company like New Japan that has saw so much departure and so much change, and, the pressure is on a lot more. And
they're in a rebuilding phase, obviously.
They're at a point where if they don't find something or someone sooner rather than later, you could see organizational changes again.
I fully agree. Speaking about rebuilding phases, just real quickly. But you're a baseball fan.
I am.
rebuilding phases happen all the time in baseball.
They do.
How do you see, what is the sort of like fan base reaction to teams when rebuilding phases happen?
Accepting when it makes sense.
Sure.
Like you could have a team that's been great for years, but the players get old, players leave, things like that, and you just have to accept rebuild. Like the best example of that. I mean, to go away from baseball, but like the Patriots were great for 20 years.
Sure.
And Tom Brady left. And then it's
Belichick left as well
right.
too.
Then you had to accept rebuild. You had to accept that's over. And I think that can be very much put on a New Japan, for example, is like once Okada walked out, it's like you kind of have to accept where we are. And New Japan very clearly could not accept that. They bandaged and bandaged and bandaged, right? Naito bandage.
Physically or just generally?
In more ways than one. Like, and then that bandage did a lot of good for them, but the bandage wears off. It's not going to stay on forever, right?
Yeah. If you have a broken arm, a bandage won't fix it.
New Japan has refused to fully commit, I think, to the rebuild. And they won't commit to it until everyone's gone. So once Tanahashi's gone, they have no choice. There has to be full commitment. Takeshita, in many ways, bandage.
Yeah, I can agree. I agree.
That's one of my favorite parts of sports is watching a team construct itself and how that goes. And the same goes for wrestling. The same goes for really anything. It's not just a sports thing. It's just a sports analogy that works towards, you just talked about it with Hollywood. People had to figure out, finding the next movie star, finding the next, this guy's in that movie, I gotta go type thing, right? And a lot of people say, like, for example, like Tom Cruise is one of the last, if not the last, of like true, he's in a movie, people are gonna go see it type thing,
the Tanahashi of movies, if you will.
Yeah, in many ways, though he probably is in physically better shape than Tanahashi.
I have to imagine.
He wasn't taking bumps his whole life.
In a way.
In a way he was, in a way he wasn't. That's true. But that is the interesting part. And I think when we're on this side of the coin, it's easy to, and it's the same in sports. You have commentators, radios, podcasts that are going to like push the needle. They have to do something. They have to do this. They have to do that. But at the end of the day, New Japan can be attacked on this because they're not committing to that rebuild. They have to.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, they have to. They have no choice after this.
Yeah.
And I think they have sometimes, but not full. To get back to greatness, full commitment is necessary. And you look at the scene in, AEW in many ways committed to rebuild.
They after the whole Punk drama, after the whole brawl out thing, they and obviously after when Punk left, they had to go through basically like a year and a half of rebuilding phase.
Yeah, and they went back to basics.
It stunk to a degree.
It did. They went, the Punk stuff and the MJF stuff. They had to go back to what made them great. They had to go back to, the veterans and things like that, and right the ship while also trying to build up the next phase. And I think it's even possible.
To a degree, based on what like the conversation we're having, is like MJF to a degree is then a bandage for that moment. And like in the moment, it makes sense to put the title on him, but at the same time, I guess he already had the title on him when Punk left All in London. But like at the same time, it's like, afterwards, just like, this isn't quite working. We do need to right the ship. Yeah. You go to Joe. You eventually go to Mox. That kind of works, but it kind of works. But then creative starts suffering significantly, and Tony Khan again has to then look in the mirror and be like, "No, we need to right the ship again. We need to rebuild." You're entirely right. It's this combination of like, out of wrestling fans in any fandom, there is patience that is required for a rebuilding season. I think an issue for wrestling is that like
hard in wrestling because it's weekly.
It's weekly.
Never stops.
Never stops. You're living within it in the moment. In baseball, you have an off season where it's like, I don't have to think about this in terms of rebuilding. It's happening in the background. Wrestling is always ever present. So it's harder to have that patience. But at the same time, you also need the people in charge of creative and the company to be able to recognize this sort of situation and be able to recognize that we do need to fix the ship. We need to rewrite the ship. But not only that, Scotty, but rewrite the ship in the correct direction.
And there's times where a company can be successful, but still organizationally need a lot of help, need a lot of changes. I
think this roster for New Japan, like I think they have
talent.
They have talent. They have something here.
Yeah,
it's just sort of like they're not the company is nothing.
They need a new coach. That's what they need. They need a new coach, if we're being truly honest.
Or playmaker or who's I don't know what
general manager, I guess. Like there's league. They need a new guy calling the shots. That's what they need, and that's part of it. For New Japan, they might have the prospects. They have they have the system to get them there. I think it's a matter of, do they have the organizational leadership to get them there? I think people agree Tanahashi is a good part of that, but he's not the one booking on a daily basis, right? That's the conversation point again. That's why I brought up AEW, because they had their ups and downs organizationally, and when things start to turn around, the reports are Tony Khan has put his finger back on the pulse. He's kind of back in the weeds. Maybe he didn't want to be as in the weeds as he has to be, but it's a better product now. So it's things like that. And I think that's always a fun conversation. I liked where the conversation went, but let's get through this card and get the hell out of here.
Well, yeah, I'll just go down from the top to the bottom. IWGP Global Heavyweight Title, Gabe Kidd versus Yota Tsuji. Speaking of riding the ship and losing other people potentially, the feeling of this match is the weariness of this match. It's like, look, we don't have any confirmed reports in any capacity that Gabe Kidd is leaving or seeking to leave New Japan right now, but the vibes are that, we're putting the title back on Yota Tsuji so that Gabe Kidd can leave to go to New Japan. Like, that's just the vibes. And that's a vibe that, like, the continuous vibe check shadow that lingers over this entire company.
Never seen a year go from one high to such a low for one guy.
Yeah.
In a company like Gabe Kidd.
He's the guy that might have the match of the year. Depending.
Right. Like, he had the first match of the year. I think that's the best way to say it, right? He had the one that set a standard, and put so many people on the mind, and also did so in an emotional way, right? And the way that crowd reacted and all these things. And he has pissed it all away. Completely.
Yeah. The goodwill,
no one wants to see him
goodwill that he gathered in January or for January is just it's kind of disappeared.
No New Japan fan wants to see him win.
Yeah.
He was their guy. At the beginning of the year, he was their guy. Now he was their hopeful answer. A lot of people were like, he's got to be the guy. Remember, people were like, he's got to replace Finley and all these different things. Not a single soul says that now.
Yeah.
Just, again, another case of what New Japan has experienced. Yota Tsuji wins.
IWGP Tag Team titles, the Knockout Brothers, Oscar and Bumbleclat Yuta Ice versus Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura. Obviously, they had some singles matches here on the build up to the Road 2, or they're on the Road 2 stuff. But now you have the tag team formation. Seemingly, I don't know if it's permanent. We'll find out, of Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura.
Should not be.
Look, if you want to look at it long term, it's like, look, this is something for Shota Umino to do. Put him with an actual great wrestler that's popular, Yuya Uemura.
Tag wrestling could be his thing.
The thing is, I agree. The fire and ice, in terms of Yuya Uemura is fire and heat storm and all these sort of things, and Shota Umino because he's cold as ice.
Ice is actually ice, but yeah.
Great point. The thing is about this sort of tag team grouping is that it can either elevate Shota Umino into becoming a better wrestler and performer, and get and this time period with Yu Uemura, however long it may last, could result in something more efficient, some greatness out of Shota Umino. Time. He needs time to figure things out to a degree.
Quality. I don't even
some
need
quality.
greatness.
Put him with a great wrestler. We'll see. The other side of it is that Shota Umino could be an anchor on Yu Uemura, and that's not great. Do I think they're winning the tag titles? No, because Oscar and Yuta Ice just won it. Maybe that was just going to be a transitional thing so they can pop them off and make them seem serious contenders here. I don't know. But the fact that they just won the titles, I don't necessarily expect it, but you never know. I don't really know who's going to win here, but that's kind of how I'm feeling about it all.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's kind of scary in many ways, but it's a match that I like that they made at the same time. The big Sumo Hall show. Let's put all of our youth into one big tag match and see what they can do at the same time. It is scary because Shota Umino is a negative overall on the product. But hey, Knockout Brothers, they rule. And
they rule.
Yu Uemura rules. So hopefully that overcomes the stinkage.
You only gotta hide. You only have to hide 25% of the match, not 50.
God bless. Like all of his other matches.
This next match, rivaling, obviously, I think for match of the night, IWGP Women's Title match, Suri versus Shuri.
It's the opener.
Fun. Scotty, any? Yeah, I'm looking at this on Cage Match. I'm looking at this on the actual New Japan website. Scotty, any thoughts? You're wearing the hat. You're wearing the Suri hat. Any thoughts on this match? Any thoughts on your match that you don't know that you don't know anything about? Of course.
Yeah, well, sure he's winning.
And you're saying that unprompted, just of your own heart and accord.
Yeah. I don't really pick against Sari, so yeah.
I like I'm just turning the screws and Scotty a little bit here,
you are.
And he knows it. He knows I'm doing it.
Trying to get my words correctly.
Yeah, no worries.
A complete fumbling by Stardom. It's my best way to say it. A lot of it just doesn't make sense. How we go from, Sari goes to the Ring of Honor, goes and does the match with Alex Windsor. It's a nice success. Surely it'll lead to good things down the line, I'm sure. I don't think that's against the question. Tony Khan holds up Sari's hands. All good success in the end, which is really good. And the moment that match ends, Shuri versus Sari, New Japan King of Pro Wrestling in 4 days. And it's like
a match that has been teased, obviously.
Yeah, it's been teased, but
Shuri coming off of surgery.
But people have to remember that while Shuri was out, there wasn't even a talk of Shuri and Sari. It was Sari and Hate, and that was kind of the storyline of the 5-star in many ways. It created a lot of noise. It created a lot of excitement. And then poof.
Yeah.
Shuri's back. All right, we'll build to that, right? You build that to the Old Award show, probably Queendom, right? This feels like Sari's around till Queendom. No, how about we just do it here on a New Japan show? First match on the card.
I don't know anything. Feels like the Shuri match is created in the back burner because look, Suri is constantly a freelancer and it was only a 1-year deal or whatever, I believe, for Stardom. It feels like the Shuri match was like created as like a way to do like a break in case of emergency, like escape hatch sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah, I mean, it was always going this direction. Shuri said when she left with the injury that she'd be back.
Yeah.
And she'd go for the belt. But still, the bigger problem here is that they've had 2 title matches. or 2 matches this year. First one went 30 minutes. Second one went 32 minutes. This match isn't going to potentially sniff 10.
Yeah, especially if it's the opener.
There is so much messiness.
The fact that it's opener means that this is more of a throwaway than I think people think.
And a lot of people want to try to guess why and this and that. It's not like she's signing a contract with a company tomorrow and leaving.
She has a 1-year deal. she has
right. I mean,
she's here till what, January? I'm guessing.
I think she doesn't. So she's still a freelancer, and her losing the belt, freedom becomes a real thing again because once she doesn't have that belt, Stardom doesn't have as much say probably. So a lot of people are just trying to assume like, oh, this is happening because she went to AEW and they gave her contracts. It's like, no, that's very clearly not.
It'd be fun.
I'll be interested in that. People would love that, but like, she has her 15th anniversary next year. She has a major show planned at Yokohama Budokan that she's announced for the anniversary. She plans very well ahead.
Yeah, it's a question of who is she going to be wrestling at that 15th anniversary?
Sure. This match doesn't feel very planned ahead. It feels very against literally everything.
Escape hatch.
I've watched Sari do since she's come over.
Yep.
So to me, it's Stardom wanting to get the belt off of her. And the fact that we've gone away from hate, the fact that we've gone now to this, I don't know, man. It's a bummer.
Yeah. Look, we'll see what happens after the match, I guess. We'll see what happens.
She's not going to have the belt anymore. I don't think she's going to stop working Stardom.
Sure.
Though.
She has however many dates probably left. I assume her contract is probably like dates,
Yeah, she's a per date. But a lot of people, talking about a certain S that was announced for Marigold Grand Destiny. There's a opening. It's Chikagoto versus S. A lot of people have started to think once the IWGP title match was announced, I saw Marigold account tweet like, "Oh, by the way, a year ago when they ran Ryogoku Sumo Hall, it was Sari winning their world title." I don't know. We'll see. It's a topic that's hard to talk about, but
look, the S is always out there, Scotty, but obviously she signed an AEW deal, and we'll see her on Dynamite this Monday.
Yeah, of course. No, I think the real bummer is though, and I'll just say this before we, she clearly wanted to do a lot with this IWGP Women's title, and they are seemingly taking that away from her. They give her the win in June. She gets a defense against Konami. The week after, she defends against Suzu, and then she does the Alex Windsor defense. And now it's just kind of going away.
Yeah. Look, need a new general manager.
The biggest match in Joshi would have been Sari and Saya Kamitani. And I don't think they want it. And that's absurd. They've gone completely away from it.
Yep.
To the point where Saya Kamitani's tweets with Sari were deleted.
Yep.
It's frustrating. But hey, I'm happy. I'm happy about one thing. Sari gets to do the Sumo Hall, gets to do the New Japan show. Very cool for her. As a big big fan of Inoki, big fan of or wanting to bring this title to a higher level. First IWGP Women's title match in New Japan since Wrestle Kingdom, when Mayu Iwatani successfully defended against Azumi. The funny to think back, that was this year. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they get a little bit of time. Going from 30 minutes, 32 to probably like 8 to 10.
Yeah. So look, it's gonna be a quick, hard fight. I'm excited for that. It should be.
They'll have a great.
It's gonna be a strike fest, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, they'll go for it. They're gonna do great. It's just, it felt like if you were building to a third match, a trilogy match, you don't announce it on 4 days.
Yeah.
The bummer.
Never open weight title match. Oleg Boltin versus Evil. I kind of said it a little bit earlier. I feel like Evil's probably going to win here, just because he's a big star in the company.
Yep.
And I would say Oleg Boltin's had a solid title reign. I'm not going to say that anything like that. It's just, I think Evil's just going to win.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Kind of it.
Yeah, I got nothing.
New Japan World TV title, El Phantasmo versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. I think it's a question of whether or not they want to have a title match for Tanahashi's last match. But they don't typically do that. A lot of retirement matches are just multi-man tags, right?
Right.
So I guess Phantasmo retains, beats Tanahashi. That's probably what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I guess like this is his Phantasmo's 20th anniversary match.
Ooh, okay.
And it's also Tanahashi's last Sumo Hall match. So
put two guys together. It makes sense.
Yeah, maybe they go the 15.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or
Tanahashi could just put him over if he really likes
him. Well, I mean, is there an ex-WWE guy for Tanahashi to lose the title to? Idris Inoue or
I don't know. I think that's all
Riley.
Japan's lane lately. All Japan's lane's kind of that now.
That's a good point. Good point.
That's another part of the Bandits, though. Trying to bring in like the former WWE stars to try to sell tickets.
Well, slow down on the word stars there.
Hey, Dolph Ziggler was a former world champion at least.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about Odyssey
Jones. Riddle? Oh no. No, I was going back to when New Japan brought in Riddle and
yeah, those 100%.
Holy shit! Remember that? Was that last year?
Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy.
That 23 or 24.
That feels like it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it does. I'll just quickly go through the rest of the show. 6-man tag team match: Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, and Yo versus Hartley Jackson.
Return.
The return
of the movie star.
Hartley Jackson, Kosei Vegeta, and Rohei Oiwa. A Riot in Ryogoku, no DQ, no countout match. Sonata versus Drilla Maloney. The Scotty Edwards offer match, of course.
That match sucked.
And then
she's gonna get more time than Sari and Shuri, and I'm gonna lose my mind.
6-man tag team match: Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, and Titan versus Clark Connors, David Finlay, and Taiji Ishimori. I imagine Titan's in here as well because we're gonna the Super Junior Tag League is probably around the corner, so we're just gonna bring in Titan to remind the folks at home who's gonna be in that tournament. When is that starting? Starting very soon. Starts on the 23rd. So yeah, the show is on Monday. The 23rd is the week after that on a Thursday. So yeah, so that's probably why Teton's over here. So we'll see how it is. Super Junior Tag League will be around the corner. That's KOPW. We're not necessarily high on the company. I do think the show has a good quality to be good. I think it has the capability, but I think that's where we've kind of been in with New Japan all this time, is that like I do think they have the capabilities to have a really great shows and really good to great shows. It's just obviously it's not as great as it once was. I think that's obviously fair to say. It's just, the hype machine is just sort of not entirely there. It's not quite working for this company, for Bushiroad, for New Japan. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how everything goes, Scotty. But that's the show. That's Ring Post Radio. We'll be back on Monday, Scotty. Monday, is that good? Is that good with you? Is that good with me? I think that's good with me. If Monday is good with you, Scotty.
Sounds right. Might be back-to-back Mondays then, probably.
Oh yes, because you'll be gone the following weekend, so it'll probably be the because you'll be at a wedding, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I sure will.
Sure will.
I sure will.
So yeah, we'll have back-to-back Mondays on the 20th and 27th. If not the Monday, certainly the Tuesday, just depending on like travel and all these sort of things. But either Monday or Tuesday of next week and the following week, talking about more professional wrestling. Of course, we'll probably next week review AEW WrestleDream, preview the Sumo Hall show for Marigold. And other than that, I guess we'll find
Got
out.
the main
Oh,
event for that
KOPW.
now.
KOPW as
Yeah.
well. Ice Cold Takes.
Busy. Little crash up by then, maybe by yours truly.
Potentially. Tune in to find out. Scotty, plugs, match of the week.
Oh, yeah, sure. YouTube.com/@ScottEWrestling. Place to go.
Go Shizaki.
Good. Got a lot of content up there. What the hell did I do this week? I did multiple videos this week. I did a Q&A that was up there. Talking about a bunch of Joshi questions. I reviewed the Sari versus Alex Windsor match. If that intrigues you at all, talked about that a little bit. Did Joshi Weekly, which is kind of just my spin on, if I have a few topics I want to talk about, put that show up. It's a lot of fun. We talked about the Monday Magic match, which was excellent. Probably my match of the week, which was Mio Momono, Takumi Iroha, and Senka versus Mayu, Utami, and Seiri. That was a great Monday Magic surprise. Talked about the Stardom Corkin from yesterday, which had Hazuki and Kogama for the CML Japan Women's title, had the tag title match, and had some challenges and whatnot. Broke that down, and then some news and notes for you as well. This week, I'll have a bit of content tomorrow. Monday, I'll have a review up for Sari versus Shuri, as well as the Margot Corkin, which is happening as well. And a few weeks from now, obviously Grand Destiny's coming, so plenty of content coming your way for that as well. That is all from me. Bye-bye.
My plugs are, last week, I got a lot of good reviews about the ballad episode of Sweet Daddy Siki with Greg Oliver. If you want to learn about the new member of the historical US and Canada section, none other than Greg Oliver talking about it. He obviously has written books covering the history of professional wrestling. Wrote the documentary regarding Sweet Daddy Siki that came out in 2017, and obviously, of course, very good friends with Sweet Daddy Siki as well. So go check out that episode of The Ballot. Really solid episode. Got a lot of great reviews about it, which I do appreciate. Just a random, Scotty, I don't know if you saw this, a random Blue Sky post, quote tweet from the Voices of Wrestling Blue Sky account. Didn't unprompted, just said, "Hey, go check this out." I'm like, "Oh, thanks guys." It's Rich. I assume Rich. Yeah, very unprompted, and I very much appreciate it. So shout out Voice of Wrestling. Shout out Rich Creech. This week will be another new episode of The Ballot. I have one thing I'm kind of working on. I don't feel confident it's going to happen, but if that's not happening, 100%, nice. I'm going to say like 90% positive this Wednesday's episode is going to be the Masaki Mochizuki episode. Long awaited, last person of the regular season in terms of none of the last minute people. Talking about Masaki Mochizuki with Alan Forel, Pro Wrest Paradise. So go check that out. Legitimately great episode. Alan's obviously extremely knowledgeable about the Puro scene, specifically also Dragon Gate. So he talked a lot about. There's a point in the podcast, Scotty, where Alan just kind of talked for like maybe 20 minutes straight, and I just let him go. And then when he was finished, I said, "Yeah, I don't disagree, Alan. Like, I agree with everything you said." So yeah, Alan's a great guest. I think it's also a great episode because as much Alan can bring to the table on in-ring context and great stuff throughout Mochizuki's career, I since I have less of that, I can bring the data to the thing. So if you like the sort of Stardom attendance breakdown I did, which I have actually updated since that episode of EO, and I told you about it. I posted online somewhere, I think. Sort of the update of the Stardom attendance report I made. I have another one for Dragon Gate that I talk about in that episode. So if you want to see some Dragon Gate attendance data that I've put together, I believe from the 2004 to 2011, which is Mochizuki's world title reign, you'll get that data and see how much of a draw Mochizuki was in a slightly bigger promotion than Stardom in Dragon Gate. So yeah, that'll come out this Wednesday, presumably, unless one thing happens, but it probably won't happen. And then yeah, so go check out The Ballot. Great season so far. I got a lot of great feedback. You've sung praises. I've gotten other people online have said nice things to me and about it. So go check out The Ballot. I'm excited to a degree. I'm almost excited for like the next season to see who the new names are. But every month has always been a delight to rediscover or discover a person's career. So go check out the ballot this Wednesday. Talking Mochizuki, 90% sure. Plugs. Follow us on social media. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you get them. Subscribe to the Count Out Wrestling Podcast Network YouTube channel so you can see the video version of Ring Post Radio if you want to go check that out. If you want to see my cool pose that gets booed during this podcast, we appreciate everyone for checking in, listening to this episode of Ring Post Radio. We'll be back next week on Monday, more than likely. And until then, everybody, you know what to do. Everybody, here, say it with me. Enjoy your Taco Bell.